the seasons. You're taking the time from me, but
Hey my lock loves, I am coming to you all with a lock extension repair video. This customer has had lock extensions put in by someone else. The locks were made by someone else and everything like this, but there's a lot of damage. There's a lot of locks that's hanging on by the thread. There's some locks that are too small, locks that are too big, locks that have broken off, and a whole lot of different other issues with her locks. So in this video, I am going to repair her locks and put in the extensions that she came in with. She wanted to keep these extensions. I personally didn't like the extensions, but I wanted to really cut all of them off and start completely over. She did not want to cut all of her hair off. So yeah, I repaired them the best that I could, and I'm just going to take you on this journey. And the first thing that I'm going to do is split those super large locks. So she told me she combined some locks because some were entirely too small and were not strong enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this one apart and the other few that were combined. Here I am trying to get the part as straight as possible. She didn't care nothing about having neat parts, which my OCD didn't like it, but without me being able to cut all of them out, I couldn't get the parts as perfect as I wanted them to be. But yeah, so now I'm just prepping to install her original lock extensions back into her hair. Here I am just loosening up the ends of her previous lock extensions so that when I crochet onto her locks, it will mesh seamlessly, or as seamless as possible, and real flesh and flat. I'm now doing the same with the ends of her natural locks so that, you know, when you crochet, or when I crochet them together, it'll be like crocheting a lock extension. So I want to make loose hair on her natural hair and then loose hair on the lock extension itself. And now I'm just going to crochet until It's a seamless transition between her natural lock and the lock extension itself. And I want to make sure that it is kind of solid and stable, and it just won't keep falling out. So here's the fun part with true sarcasm is the crocheting. Sometimes it's very hard or painful to crochet, especially when you're merging or combining locks that's already solid to each other. So I have my electric crochet needle here. I will have a whole separate video about this electric crochet needle. But yeah, so when my fingers or my arms start to hurt because the crocheting is a little more physical than I like it to be, then I bring out my electric crochet needle. So after crocheting for a few minutes, I realized that the strength is not there. So I'm going to add extra Afro Kinky bulk hair to the weakened spot, or the spot where I connected her locks to her natural hair, so that it can be strong and stable and solid. So that's why I have the extra hair there, and I'm just going to keep crocheting until that hair has merged all together. And here I just had her fill her lock. She was very concerned of how, her previous installation kept falling out. So I wanted her to I wanted her to feel how strong and secure it was, so that, I just recommend hairstylists, just make sure your clients feel and are okay with you doing things before you continue to move on. So I just got the confirmation that she's good with it. Alrighty, so here I'm going to be combining these two locks. You have one that has the extension that is hanging on by a thread, and then you have this other lock that is so small that I could have put another lock on it, but the one that's hanging on by the thread needed to be attached to something. So I decided to attach these two together and make one lock here. At this point, I decided to cut the remainder of that lock, because if I would have kept trying to combine them, then it would have been entirely too heavy for her part size and for her lock extension. So I cut that lock off and continued to crochet and merge the two locks together. All right, so here's the final result. It took about 14 hours. It was mainly combining logs, adding more extensions. About 80 to 85% of her head, I had to take the extension out and put it back in. So it took about 14 hours, but you know, I love the result, and I hope she loved it, because you know, I tried my best. It was a lot of work and a lot of physical labor trying to get these locks together, but thank you for watching, and peace.
Give me a reason, and I'll pretend I'm in control. Just like the seasons, you're taking the time from me, boy.